How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another update video for the Righteous Fire Juggernaut. I know it's been a few days since the last progress video, but I wanted to make this one today because in a few hours, a couple of friends of mine are starting a private league, which I will be playing, probably putting more time towards that and putting off Trade League for a little bit. But I just wanted to make this update video to show you where the RF character was at. So compared to last time, we made a lot of upgrades. The Scepter, we upgraded to a +1, minions deal increased damage, and fire dot multi. So pretty much the same as what we had previously, except we replaced burning damage, like 30% burning damage with 82% minion damage. And we take spiritual aid, so this is just more increased damage for us. Our helmet remains the same, but we now have a level 21 fire trap, 2120 fire trap in there. The rest of the gems in there are the same. We're working on leveling life taps in our offhand. We upgraded our Sappho's frame. We now have a max roll, chance to block spell damage, and all LE res. So 30-30 on both of those. Still running the same gems in that. Our amulet remains the same. Our ring, we finally replaced the pyre with a pretty terrible ring. It was like 2 chaos, but it had increased fire damage. It had a good chaos resistance roll, and it had the minimum frenzy charges and the gain frenzy charges on kill with an open spot for life. So I bought it for 2 chaos, and we're using it for now. But it's great because it gets my chaos resistance to 49 without my flask active. The chest piece we bought, it was not 6-linked, but it had a good amount of armor, good life, good regen, and a good chaos resistance roll, and an open prefix for a really important craft of physical damage taken from hits as fire, 6% of physical damage taken from hits as lightning. We 6-linked it ourselves in something like 300 fusings. We bought the new MTX for the fusings, so we had to try to 6-link it ourselves, and we did, thankfully. We got some pretty good rolls on here. Got increased armor, which isn't the best. Maybe determination effect would be better, but for now we left it as % increased armor as the implicit and +1 all maximum resistances, which is definitely good. And our amethyst ring still remains the same. Our gloves are also still the same. Our belt is still the same, and our boots are still the same. But if you look, socketed, we now have a 2120 Righteous Fire. We have an Awakened Burning Damage Support, which I started to level up. That's level 2. We have an Awakened Swift Affliction, and an Awakened Elemental Focus. And a normal life tap that we're also going to hopefully upgrade to 2120 soon enough. Our flasks are mostly the same. I think maybe minor upgrades in terms of the armor. I'm trying to roll these whenever I come across alterations. But yeah. We're level 96, 97% towards 97 right now. And our Righteous Fire is dealing 404 tooltip, 404,000 tooltip while standing in the hideout. And Fire Trap is dealing 375k without the RF active or life tap active. And if we turn on the RF and we drop down a life tap, RF, well, do we have life tap? Yeah. RF goes to 482k and Fire Trap goes to 633k. We've done quite a bit of farming. We finished off our bonus objectives from the Atlas, and we finished off all of our favorited maps. And we have 132 out of 132 in our Atlas skills. So right now what we're running is a little bit of strong boxes, some expedition. We left heist on there. We have shrines. We have Harbinger. And we are in Exarch. So I'm really liking this mapping right now. It feels good. We're not in stream of consciousness, but we are doing singular focus. We're putting polished scarabs on pretty much all of these maps. And currently I'm in this Pact with Energy, and I'm putting a point in mining partnership for Nico missions. But I kind of feel like I'm wasting these 3 points here. Still deciding if I'll keep them. It's nice when I have Nico missions, but I've already ran through all my Nico missions. And now I'm just hoping I get an eco mission, but it's not guaranteed, so it doesn't feel that good having this. But when you do get it, the Pact with Energy is quite nice. Currently, we're saving up most of our divines because we've upgraded a lot of our gear already for the Aureus End Flask. We've got 6 divines, 520 chaos at the moment, a lot of currency. We have 6 fracturing shards over here. A couple of things that we're trying to sell. We have a divine in our Tujin, which I had one sitting in there, and I did a lot of maps until I had enough exceptional artifacts to get the one that I had. Had about 40 exotic coinage, and then about 20 rerolls. I came across another divine, so now I'll go back to mapping until I get this. We got the new Righteous Fire MTX, which I think looks pretty cool. And we're still running the Crimson Temples with the Gloom Shrines active. We have our favorited maps all set to Crimson Temple, except for one set to Strand, because it's a connected map. And as you know, you have a lot of nodes on your tree to start here that are 2% chance for one monster in each of your maps to drop an additional connected map, which ends up not being used if you don't have at least one connected map favorited. So we favorite Strand because it's an easy layout. We're running our Void Stones with whatever additional packs we get, and then Gloom Shrine. So let's just run into one map and see what we do here. We are running Harbinger, I'm running Exarch, and I'm running Polished Harbinger, Polished Divination, Polished Elder Scarabs, and then whatever 4th one I have right now is just Rusted Ambush Scarabs. And that's all. I wouldn't run the Polished Divination if I wasn't in Crimson Temple, but, everyone wants that Apothecary, so let's hop right into this map here and show off the build. So I'm thinking starting tonight, I will be playing in a private league like I mentioned, so I'll be making hopefully some progress videos that'll be more SSF, and I think I'll be doing RF Jug there as well. I want to try it in an SSF-like environment, so we'll get to see that. And an Exalted Orb at the start of the map. Right now, Exarch is feeling really good. Look at all these chisels right away. Chisels are kind of expensive this league compared to last leagues. So being able to pretty much sustain them myself is really nice. I haven't had to buy chisels at all this league, or Awakened Sextants, and so that has been really nice with running Exarch. You just have to be a bit careful with whatever nodes you take, or at the altar, whatever bonuses you take from the altar. But other than that, you get a lot of Awakened Sextants, you get a lot of chisels, a lot of Vol Orbs, a lot of Scours, all from the Exarch. So it's a really nice lot of mapping currency that you get from that you don't need to trade for, which really in the end saves you a lot of time not needing to deal with the trade site when it comes to that mapping currency, because that could be a pain, as probably most of you know. We might end up pushing this character to 100 after the private league. We'll see if the private league keeps everyone's attention for a good amount of time. Then it might be a little while till we're back on here, but private league being more SSF, how can I go from this sort of mapping to that sort of mapping and not miss this a little bit? Look at these explosions, they're just really good. So when we get the Aureus End, it'll be even better, almost like a mini Gloom Shrine on us at all times. Single target's a lot better. And speaking of the single target, ever since it got a lot better, we ended up starting to do the Sanctums, and it's actually not that bad for RF. Right now, I'm about to complete my first Sanctum since starting to do it again. I haven't actually failed one since I started doing it again. But yeah, it's been pretty good. So as you can see, our Gloom Shrine ran out about, halfway through this map. We got it pretty early in this map. Sometimes we get it later and it lasts for the rest of the map. But the Harbingers really slow us down. And so when we do the Harbingers with the Gloom Shrine, we end up, kind of wasting a lot of the Gloom Shrine. But so far, I've gotten a few Fracturing Shards from Harbingers, which feels really nice to get. And they're definitely... there's level 97. They're definitely more common than I thought they would be, which is nice. And when I have gotten them, it's not like I've just gotten one. I've gotten a stack of 2 and a stack of 4. So I've seen them twice. Seen Fracturing Shards twice already. And there are all of our Life Tap Gems to level 20. We'll have to quality those after this map. But yeah, really nice to get Fracturing Shards ever since, the Exalt Shards are really no longer worth anything. I've gotten a lot of Exalt Shards already, and it just feels bad. They show up like Chaos Shards, and, they're not really valuable anymore. But they definitely added a lot of value back into Harbingers with these Fracturing Shards. And they just spawn a lot of rares. So a lot of times I'll be getting... many rares in these maps thanks to these Harbingers with spawning either these fractured items like you see or, lots of currency. I find now that I'm getting a lot more of the currency converted rares, but they're not as good as they once were. I get a lot of stacks of alterations or alchemies from the rares instead of getting like any divines. I've just been getting a lot of that stuff. So that was the whole map. Our inventory filled up from small items basically in one map. We got these 2 fractured ones here. Both, dropped our Scrolls of Wisdom. Both not good. We'll pick up our contract and stuff there. But yeah, that is kind of where the RF build is at. Now that we got this point, we're going to have to figure out, maybe take this away and get a jewel socket over here or something. But yeah, we'll figure out what to do with that now that we're 97. But the build is really good. Jug feels really good to play. And so hopefully you guys look forward to a more SSF build progression starting today. I'll be making those probably starting tomorrow after my day 1. And so look forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.